Okay, I think we're done with question 1. Let's look at question 2. Yeah. So question 2, now we are dealing with a continuous random variables. So I said when dealing with continuous random variables, you have to know how to integrate, okay? The basics of integration, you have to know. If you don't know how to integrate, you are gone. You won't answer any question on the continuous random variables, okay? So we have to know how to integrate. So the first thing here, they're saying the distribution of the amount of medicine sold in kgs by a particular supply company in a given week is given by the PDF below, this one here. Okay, from 0 all the way to W. Even this question was in the tutorial sheet. Okay, so they're saying find the value of W. So how can we find the value of W? We know that the total probability when we integrate this PDF over this range from 0 to W, we must get 1. Okay, so that's what we are going to use in order for us to find the W there. Okay, so let's do that. So we know that the integral, okay, so we know that the integral from 0 to W should be 1. So that's what we are going to use. Okay, so the integral from 0 to W of 3 over 2, and I have 1 minus x squared dx should be equals to 1. So this is the fact that we are going to use. Okay, so let's integrate this. So we know that by the laws of indices, this 3 over 2, we can take it in front. So we're going to have 3 over 2 here, and then integral from W to 0 of 1 minus x squared. And then dx, all this should be equals to 1. Okay, so let's integrate this now. So if I integrate this, I'm going to have 3 over 2. If I integrate 1, I'm just going to have x. Minus, if I integrate x squared to be x to the power 3 divided by 3, close bracket, the W to 0 is equals to 1. So we're just now going to replace, okay, this W wherever there's x, and then we say minus. Wherever there's x, we now replace with 0. But if we replace with 0, everything here becomes 0. So it's not even necessary to replace with 0. So we're just going to replace the W there. But if you have a number there, you have to replace. So 3 over 2, wherever there's x, we put W minus W to the power 3 over 3. Okay, this should be equals to what? 1. Because if we replace with 0, everything here becomes 0. No wonder I've avoided it. So you can even say minus 0 here. Okay, and then from here, what are we going to do? Let's multiply everything that we have here by 3, and then these 2, we multiply it with that one. So 3 multiplied by this, I'm going to have 3W minus 3 multiplied by this whole thing here. It means the 3 and the 3 will go. So we're going to have 3 W to the power 3, then is equals to this 2 multiplied by this one here. So we are cross multiplying. So this will be 2. Okay, and then from there, what do? We just solve this cubic function. So let's take all this to the other side so that we have a positive. So W to the power 3 minus 3W plus 2 is equals to what? 0. So you use those methods, the synthetic divisions, the trial and error. So I think, which one can work? I think 1 can work. Okay, I think 1 can work. So let's try. If I get the factor x minus 1, meaning my x is equals to 1, will it work? So if I put 1 here to the power 3 minus 3 multiplied by 1 plus 2, yeah, this one works, is equals to 0. So this will be 0 is equals to 0. So meaning x minus 1 is a factor. So how do we find the other ones? We use synthetic division. So we are going to come up with this guy. So here I'm going to put 1, 0, minus 3, 2. So make sure your powers are going down smoothly. So W to the power 3, the next one should be W to the power 2. But we see that we do not have it here. So you just write 0 W to the power 2. No wonder this is the 0 that I put here. And then for the W, and then for the one that does not have a W. Okay, so let's do the synthetic. So we are going to bring this one down, and then we multiply. Okay, so 1 multiplied by 1, we are going to get 1. 0 plus this, it's 1. 1 multiplied by 1, we're going to get 1. Minus 3 plus 1, we're going to get 2. Minus 2, in fact. Then 1 multiplied by this, we're going to get -2. So this will be remainder 0. So it means our equation now is w squared plus w minus 2 is equals to what? 0. So our first factor was x, that was x, it was w, because everything is in form of w. So it was w minus 1. Then let's find the other factors from this guy here. Okay, so this will be w minus 1. And then here, the product is -2. The factors will be +2 and -2. Okay, and since the coefficient here is 1, we can just write it as 1 as w minus 1, and then w minus +2, in fact, is equals to what? 0. Okay, and then from here we see that we get two values for w. One will be w is equals to 1, or the other one will be w is equals to what? -2. So remember now, that range was from 0, okay? It's from 0 and then x all the way to w. X all the way to what? To w. So 0 and then we are going to w. So it means this w is bigger than 0. So this one here cannot be the answer, okay? Cannot be the answer. So it means our w here, what we are going to choose, we are going to choose 1. So 1, okay? So our value for the w is just 1. So we can even write our PDF as, okay? We can write our PDF as, our PDF will be 3/2, 1 minus x squared, okay, from 0, x, all the way up to what? 1. And then to be 0 elsewhere or otherwise. Okay, so that's our PDF there. So we found the value of w. Then let's look at the follow-up questions. Okay, and then the next one, they're saying find the model amount of the medicine sold. So how do you find the model amount? So the model amount is just that value of x that will give you the highest probability, okay? So the value of x that will give you the highest probability there, it will just be 0. In this range from 0 to 1, it will just be 0. But how do you find it? Okay, so you use the differentiation. So you differentiate this guy, and then you equate it to 0, and then you solve for what? For x. Okay, so let's do the differentiation of this guy, and then we equate it to 0, you see. So you say the model amount is equals to the derivative, okay, dy dx of 3/2, then 1 minus x squared. Okay, so if you want, you can expand this. So dy dx of, if I expand this to this, I'm going to have 3/2 minus 3x squared over what? 2. So let's differentiate. So we know that the derivative of a constant is 0, so this will be 0. And then I differentiate this guy, so this power multiplies with this one. So this 2 multiplied by 3x, and then I reduce this power by 1, so it just be power 1, then divided by 2. So what do I have here? I have 0, this 2, and this guy is going to cancel. So I'm just going to have -3x. Okay, so now you equate the derivative to 0 in order for you to find the modulus. So you have -3 is equals to 0. And then let's solve for x. So x will just be equals to 0 divided by -3. So this will be x is equals to what? 0. So the model amount that will give you the highest probability is when x is equals to what? 0. So this is the model amount. Okay, and then the other question there was find the mean amount. So the mean amount, the median, I mean. The median amount, it means we have to find the CDF. Okay, CDF. So we have to find this CDF and then we equate it to what? To 0.5. Because median, it means halfway, like midway, which is half. So half is 0.5. So we first have to find the CDF of this guy, okay? And then we equate it to 0.5 and then solve for the for the variable there. That would be the median amount of medicine. So how do we find the CDF of this? We just have to integrate from the lowest limit that we have in this range, okay, to t. So let's integrate this. Okay, so we're going to say CDF is just going to be equals to the integral from the lowest limit, in that case, which is 0, to an unknown variable, which is t, okay, of 3/2. And then here I have 1 minus x squared dx. Okay, so we know that how to integrate this. We first take the 3/2 outside, and then we integrate whatever that will remain. So the integral of this guy will just be x minus x 3/2, and then from what? T to 0. So this will be our PDF, okay? I mean CDF. So CDF, which is represented by a capital F like that, and then I'll put T is equals to 3/2, and then I replace T here. So it will have T minus T to the power 3 divided by 0, and then minus, and then you replace with 0. But if you replace with 0 here, you're just going to get 0. So this is just 0 like that. Okay, and then multiply throughout by this fraction. What are you going to get? Okay. Okay, so we can even leave it like that anyway. So this one here is our CDF. Okay, this one here is our CDF. So now what do we do in order to get the median? We equate this value here, we equate it to 0.5. So it will be 3/2. And then I have t minus t to the power 3/3. Then I'm equating all these to 0.5/1. So we can cross multiply here now. So this one, okay, so these 3 will multiply whatever we have here, and then these 2, we're going to multiply the 0.5. Okay, so 3 multiplied by this, we're going to get 3t. 3 multiplied by this, we're going to get plus 3t to the power 3/3 is equals to 2 multiplied by this. What is 2 multiplied by 0.5? It will be 1. Okay, so this one, we see that it will be 1. So I can write this as t to the power 3 minus 3t, and then plus 1 is equals to 0. And then we try to find the value of t. Okay. Okay, so what we notice from here is that we won't be able to find any value of t that will satisfy this equation. Okay, you can try as many factors as you want, but you won't find the factor. So if we put 1 as our t, it will be 1 here minus 3 plus 1. That will not give us 0, so it won't be a factor. If we put 2, you will try a lot of them. You'll find that there's no solution to this. So what do you say? Say there is no median. Okay, so no median, because this equation here has no solution. No solution, it means that you don't have any median. Okay, so that's that question. Okay, then the next question, they're asking us to find the probability. So find the probability that the amount of medicine sold is less than 0.25. Okay, so the probability, we have to use the CDF, and the CDF, we're just from finding it as this guy here. Okay, so we're going to use this to find the probability. So they're saying find the probability, okay, that x is less than or equal to what? 0.5. So this probability is the same as f of what? 0.5. So in that f of t, we're just going to replace the t with 0.5. Okay, so this will be equals to, we had 3/2, then we had t here, which we put 0.25, then minus, and then here we had 0.25 to the power what? 3. Yeah, so to the power 3, and then we divide it by 3. So this is what we had here. Where is it? This one here. So now let's actually into the calculator and see the value. Okay, so let me punch it again. Okay, so we have 3/2 multiplied by 0.25 minus 0.25 to the power 3. Okay, and then we're dividing this by 3. Okay, all this divided by 3. Okay, so I'm finding my probability to be this number here, 0.3671875. Okay, so this will be my probability here. Okay, any questions there? Okay, let's look at C then. If there are no questions. I don't know if it's E. Okay, so we are from finding this one. So let's find D. I think I'll end here. So find the mean and the standard deviation. So we know the mean, we know how to find the expected value. The standard deviation, we have to know how to find the variance. And then we just square root the variance in order for us to find the standard deviation. Okay. So the mean is this, is given by this. So the expected value is the mean. So the expected value is just what? The integral from 0 to 1, okay, of x multiplied by 3/2 of 1 minus whatever we had there, 1 minus x squared. Okay, 1 minus x squared dx. So this will give you the mean. Okay, so let's find. So we get this 3/2, we take it outside the integral. We're going to remain with x multiplied by this. I'll have x minus x to the power 3. Okay, from 0 all the way to 1. And then you say dx. So from here, what we do, we say this is equals to 3/2. And then we integrate. So if I integrate x, I'm going to have x squared over 2. Minus, if I integrate this, I'm going to have x to the power 4/4. Okay, so that's what I have. And then the limits are from 0 to what? 1. So let's replace. So the 0, if we replace it here, we're just going to have 0, 0, 0. So it's of no significance here. So we're just going to replace with. So 3/2. And then here we have 1 squared, which will just be 1/2. Minus 1 to the power 4, which will just be 1/4. Okay, so this is what we have. This will be equals to 3/2. Then 1/2 minus 1/4. What will that give you? Okay. So that will give me a 1/4. If you subtract this, you'll get 1/4. And then you multiply, you're going to get 3/8. Okay, so this one here is my expected value or my mean. Okay, this is my expected value or mean. And then to find the variance, we have to find the expected value of x squared. Okay, so the expected value of x squared, we have 3/2. Then the integral from 0 all the way to 1 of x squared, because we're using x squared, then I'm multiplying 1 minus x squared like this, and then dx. Okay, so from here we see that we are going to have 3/2. This would be x squared multiplied by 1 to be x squared, and then x squared multiplied by x squared to be x to the power 4. So now, if we integrate the x squared, let me write it here. If we integrate the x squared, we're going to have x to the power 3 divided by 3 minus. If we integrate x to the power 4, we're going to have x to the power 4 divided by 4. And then from the limits, 0 to what? 1. So again, 0 is of no significance. So I'm just going to replace 1. So this will be 3/2 of 1/3 minus 1/5. So what is 1/3 minus 1/5? So 3/2, and then this 1/3 minus 1/5 is going to give me 2/15. Okay, so the common denominator here will be 15. And then you say 3 into this, it will be 5. So it will write 5 minus 5 into this, it will be 3. 3 minus this, it will be 3. So you see that you're going to have 3 over 2 multiplied by 2 over 15. So cancel this, cancel this. We're going to have 3 over 15. So 3 into 1, 3 into 15, it will be 1 over 10. Okay, so we have the expected value of x squared. Okay, we also had the expected value of x, which was 3 over 8. So we can use these two now to find the variance. Okay, so the variance of x is just the expected value of x squared minus the expected value of x, and then we square it like this. So we are going to have 1 over 5 minus 9 over 64. Okay, so let me just patch this as decimals. I don't want to do that. Okay, so if I patch this as my decimal, I have 0.059375. Okay, so this is my variance. And immediately you have your variance, just know that you have the standard deviation. Because the standard deviation is always the square root of the variance. So you're going to say my SD is just equals to the square root of 0.059375. Okay, let me punch this into my calculator. Okay, so when I punch that into my calculator, I'm getting approximately 0.2437. Okay, I can leave it there. So this one here is my standard deviation. Okay, so any questions there? I'll explain the answers. Okay, so I think I'll end there, and then in the next video, we're going to finish the questions that I've done with end. Okay, so if there are no questions, have a blessed night, guys, and continue studying hard.